At the beginning of the story, we see an American football match. In the VIP stands, a man named Nicky was sitting comfortably with his girlfriend, Jess. The match was going on, but instead of focusing on the game, Nicky's attention was more on the crowd. He saw a beautiful girl get up from her seat and walk away. At that very moment, a mischievous idea struck his mind. He made a small bet with Jess. Let's see how many people turn their heads to look at her. A man sitting nearby, Luyen, said he wanted to join in the bet too. Nicky agreed. They all jokingly placed a $10 wager and started counting. When the girl exited the stands, the final count came. 7 people had turned to look at her. Jess had guessed the closest number, so she won the bet. Luyen handed over the money without hesitation, and then suggested they start the next round. This time the bet was, who will commit the next foul? Jess bowed out, saying she had no knowledge of the game. But Nicky jumped in and placed a $1,000 bet. As soon as the whistle blew, the referee signaled a foul, and it turned out Nicky had guessed correctly. He won and pocketed the money. Even though Luyen had lost, he became more excited. He proposed raising the stakes to $5,000. The new bet: will the player pass the ball or run with it? Nicky hesitated at first but finally agreed. Luyen guessed run, while Nicky chose pass. As soon as the play began, the player took off running with the ball. That meant Nicky lost $5,000. Nicky told himself it was fine. Losing $5,000 wasn't the end of the world. He suggested to Jess they go have coffee and stop playing. But Luyen insisted. Come on, you're sitting in the VIP lounge. You've got money. What's $5,000? Play again, this time for $10,000. Reluctantly, Nicky agreed. The new bet was whether the next pass would be completed successfully. Nicky predicted, yes, it will. But the opposing team intercepted the ball. Nicky was now down $15,000. As he pulled out the money, he became visibly uneasy. He decided to lower the stakes and bet only $500. Jess was shocked, but Nicky looked furious. His luck wasn't on his side. He lost again. Another $500 gone. Jess urged him to stop immediately. But Nicky's anger and ego got the better of him. Without thinking, he placed another massive bet. $100,000. Luyen mocked him. Do you even have that much money? Nicky silently tossed a whole bundle of cash onto the table. Now even Luyen grew excited. Nicky predicted the next pass would be intercepted. But the pass was completed successfully. Nicky had now lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. In desperation, he declared, I've still got $1 million left. Let's bet it all. Let's see who wins. This time the decision would be made with playing cards. Luyen was on a winning streak and feeling ecstatic. He drew his card, it was a 5. All Nicky had to do was pull anything higher than a 5. The chances were in his favor. He flipped his card confidently, only to reveal a 3. Jess fell from her chair in shock. Nicky had started with only $4,000 in mind, but now he had lost more than $1 million, nearly 9 Indian rupees crore. Ashamed and devastated, he quietly took Jess's hand to leave. His heart was heavy, but Luyen mocked him. That's what happens when you play against a master. Nicky suddenly stopped and announced one final bet. $1 million. This time the idea was different. He challenged Luyen. Pick any random player through the binoculars. If I or Jess can guess his jersey number, we win. Luyen was confused. It seemed insane, like Nicky was digging his own grave. Suspicious that Nicky might be cheating, he was shocked when Nicky said, I won't guess. Jess will. Jess glared at Nicky, furious. How could she possibly guess a random jersey number? She almost walked away, but Luyen's security guard stopped her, leading to a brief scuffle. Trying to stay calm, Jess looked over the field. She remembered Nicky's words. Pick the number that feels familiar. Suddenly, her eyes fell on a familiar face. Their friend Farhad, wearing jersey number 55. She said, Number 55. To everyone's shock, she was right. Luyen was stunned. Jess herself wondered how Nikki knew in advance Luyen would select that player. But it didn't matter now, they had won. They made $1 million profit and got back all their losses. With 2 heavy bags of cash, they left the stadium. In the car, Nikki explained the truth. It was all part of his plan. They had been tracking Luyen for a long time. Luyen was notorious in high society for his gambling addiction. He couldn't resist any wager. Nikki's team had primed his subconscious with the number 55 from the moment he left his hotel. On security guard pins, roadside signs, even in the song playing in his car, where the sound 55 repeated 124 times. By the time he used the binoculars, his mind was fixated on 55. And since their friend Farhad wore that jersey, Jess's genuine reaction sealed the trick. She hadn't been told beforehand, so her expressions would stay authentic. Impressed, Jess fell even deeper for Nikki. The story then flashes back to a few days earlier. Nikki was once held at gunpoint in a room, Jess by his side, whom he had only just met. Despite the gun aimed at him, Nikki showed no fear. He claimed he had no money and told the man to shoot if he wanted. The gunman realized Nikki was no ordinary man but a master con artist. Jess, who had lured him there, had a natural talent too, something Nikki noticed. Soon she asked him to teach her. He showed her tricks: pickpocketing, sleight of hand, timing, style. Jess quickly learned, pulling off cons with increasing skill. Together with his team, they performed bigger scams, stealing credit card data, running fake ATMs, and high-tech gambling tricks. Nikki taught her that nothing they stole could ever be kept for personal use. Everything must be sold. Jess experienced this world of fraud on a massive scale for the first time. Within a week, the team made $1.2 million. But Nikki always had one final mission. Despite warnings not to gamble the money away, he took Jess to the VIP lounge at a stadium, where he staged the massive betting drama they just went through. Jess, who had begun falling for him, thought she was special, but Nikki only used her as part of his schemes. After it all, he coldly handed her just $80 and said goodbye, breaking her heart. 3 years later, Jess appeared again, this time in the company of Guria, a wealthy racing team owner who hired Nikki for a con involving fake software. Nikki was shocked to see her. Old feelings stirred, but betrayal ran deep. Through twists and turns, Nikki tricked rival racing teams, selling them fake versions of a real algorithm, making millions. Jess, meanwhile, played her own dangerous game, sometimes helping, sometimes deceiving him. Eventually, they were captured by Guria's men. Nikki was shot in the chest, but survived thanks to his old mentor, who revealed himself as Nikki's father figure and had staged the shooting. In the end, Nikki and Jess escaped with nothing but each other, and one stolen luxury watch. They smiled, realizing that with their skills they would never starve, no matter where in the world they ended up.